Please hit record. Thank you.
So those of you in the audience, and I see we have about 100 people and adding more every second, could you go to the Q&A window or chat window and type in the country in which you are located at this time? And while the audience is typing their answers, let's take a look where we are located. So I'm in North Carolina, the United States. How about you, the rest of the panelists?
I'm in South Florida. I'm actually very near Miami and in a town called Weston, just west of Fort Lauderdale.
All right, so who else is here?
I
Rafael,
am in Nairobi, Kenya. It is in Africa.
Yeah. All right. Rafael, where are you? Your microphone? And
no audio, Rafael.
And while Rafael is working his microphone, he is in Brazil. Ania, where are you? What's your location?
I'm in the Philippines.
The Philippines. Jaren, what's your location?
I'm in Malaysia.
Malaysia. So how about Emily?
I'm in Central Florida, so I'm about 5 hours-ish north of Dr. B, and then on the other side of the state. So I'm on the West Coast.
All right. Leon, what's your location?
I'm from South Africa.
South Africa, very good. Did I miss? Oh, Tejas, what's your location?
I'm from India.
India. So we have pretty much all continents just in the panelist group. So let's take a quick look.
Nicole, you missed Nicole.
Oh, I missed Nicole. Where? Yeah, Nicole. Sorry. Yes, Nicole. Yes.
That's okay. I'm from Canada.
Canada. Very good. Okay. And where in Canada? Remind me, what city are you?
Ontario.
Ontario. Yeah. And so looking at the list of people here in the audience, so we have about 100 people more now. So India, Slovakia, Latvia, Egypt, Bangladesh, South Africa, South Arabia, France, Argentina, Hungary, Pakistan, Trinidad, Czech Republic, Bumglade, that's the name of the city, I assume. Singapore, Poland, Romania, Philippines. Actually, pretty much everyone is from somewhere else.
Yeah,
so that's
somewhere
very good.
else.
Yeah.
Rafael, exactly where are you? And we need to do a sound check on your microphone.
Hello, can
yes, yes.
Okay.
Your audio needs to go up a little bit, Rafael.
Okay, wait a minute. So I'm in São Paulo, Brazil.
Very good.
No problem. Very nice.
All right, so I guess we're ready. Sound check is done. We have pretty much every continent. Do we have anyone from Australia? So I didn't notice anyone from Australia. So it would be nice to have every single continent, not just a lot of them. And I may be missing a couple. Mexico here, I see I missed a few countries. So, all right. Well, I guess we are ready otherwise. So who's gonna be the...
Well, I think we need a proper introduction.
Yes, let's do that.
So hello, everybody. I'm Dr. Baumanis. My students call me Dr. B. I am actually the director of Academy for XCulture. This is my second semester joining as the leader of the Academy coaches, and also I'm also leading the brand ambassador team. In addition to that, I work with Dr. Voss in running Global. Global is another arm of XCulture where we invite students who successfully complete the virtual program, which is what you guys are gonna do now, into an on-ground event. And just a plug right in the beginning that we are looking for 2022 to, if the world settles back down and if the political situation is conducive, that we will be potentially going to Washington, D.C. In the summer of 2022.
And Dr. B was quite modest about her presentation. So she is the person who holds this whole program together. So she's the one who's managing all the little details and all the big details, and spending many, many hours every week making sure that it all works. All the people you see here, Dr. B oversees them and works with them. So thank you so much, Dr. B. So we have a nice team now, and so let's see how it goes this semester.
Well, wait a minute. Who are you?
Oh, my name is Vas Taras. So I am a associate professor of international business at the University of North Carolina in Greensboro, and so I'm the one who started the whole XCulture movement or family, but at this time I'm primarily responsible for the university track. So Dr. Baumanis is responsible for the pre-college teens and professionals. I'm primarily responsible for the university track. And yeah, and doing some general administration and coordination of the project, of the many wings, the research, the teaching, the consulting, and all those other things.
So Dr. Voss, again, very humble, right? Dr. Voss is actually the founding president, and I always have to twist his arm to sign the documents that you are the founding president of this organization. So if you imagine, and we are both professors at universities, so this is, honestly, it's a labor of love for both Dr. Voss and I. This is not something that we do because we want to make, it's not a job for us. This is our contribution to the universe, centering and balancing and making sure that when the world comes to consciousness, that we have these young, amazing people ready to receive whatever it is that's coming for us, right? But the idea, Dr. Voss and I have talked about this, is that he and I contribute to make the world a better place in whatever capacity we can do it. And if you understand what we do, take a look around at the people that you're connected to. I think it's working. Not only are we, Dr. Voss and I, professors at different universities and volunteer for Academy, but Dr. Voss is actually a very well-published author. I'm not a well-published author, but if you plug his name into Google, you will get pages and pages and pages of research. So again, our founding president, he founded this organization. All of these little pieces, even though, along with Professor Karen Linden and a lot of other colleagues that we have contributing, created this family. So welcome to our organization, and I hope that this is a journey, a lifelong journey for you, where you will continue to evolve with us.
Yes. All right. So should we say a few words about, to open this ceremony, or what's next on the program?
Yes, you and I have another 7 minutes to discuss what XCulture is about.
Then yes, probably the best way to tell who we are and what we do is to provide a historic kind of overview of where we came from. So this whole idea of XCulture was born out of a necessity. I was teaching at that time international business, as I am now, and as many international business professors, I would frequently find myself in this very difficult situation where I would be standing in front of the classroom and trying to explain to my students that doing business with, for example, Ukrainians or Germans or Australians is different than doing business with Americans. And my students would look at me and they sort of believe me, but they don't really understand what I mean. And as I always say, teaching international business through lectures, it's like teaching how to swim on a football field. You have to get in the water to learn how to swim. And same thing with international business. You must have international business to have an understanding of international business. And so at that time, the idea was that we would create a project where several professors from different countries would put their students in international teams, so that the students would work across the time zones, across the cultural differences, across the institutional differences, and sort of experience in real life what we are trying to explain to them in the classroom. And it must have been a good idea at the right time, because a lot of people, a lot of professors signed up from the very beginning. So the first time we did it, yes, we had 7 professors from 7 different countries, but ever since the number has been growing every year. So last year we had about 6,000 people, 187 universities, 72 or 73 countries, all continents represented. So it's a very, very large group. And so now when we form a team, usually there would be 6, 7 people per team from 6, 7 different countries. So everybody's from somewhere else. Sometimes there may be 2 people from the United States, or maybe 2 people from India, but from different cities. So very, very diverse. And so that is the first sort of purpose and outcome of XCulture. So students who participate in the project, they complete a project in an international team. But then very interesting things started happening. And so one of those things is that, that you are here, and that is the following. So first, in 2013, one of our professors was doing a consulting project with Mercedes-Benz, and they were trying to develop some sort of a marketing strategy for Africa or Southeast Asia, something like that. And so they contacted me asking if it's possible to ask our students, which at that time would have been about 2,000 in a given semester. So if we can ask the students to think on those marketing tricks and ideas and strategy. And so we thought it was a good idea, because before that, the students were working on some hypothetical case study. Here you have a real company with a real problem, and they're asking for our help. And we tried. It worked very, very well. In fact, they liked it so much that we even had a meeting at the Mercedes-Benz big factory they have in Istanbul, Turkey, where they make buses and trucks. And so we had, I think, about 30 people, 40 people, spent several days there, met the management, presented our work. So, and ever since, we would now invite real companies with real challenges to present them to our students. And so this way, you students, you are not only in an international team, you are real international business consultants. Somebody needs your help, and you spend a whole semester trying to solve those problems. So last semester, we had 15 companies. This semester, we decided to keep the number a little bit lower. And the reason I didn't post the whole list, because now I'm in negotiations with 19 companies, and I'm trying to be true to our promise and reduce it to about 5, 6. I probably will not be able to say no to so many, so we may have maybe 7, 8, but I'm still trying to decide which ones we go with. So each company is from a different country, from a different industry, and so we're trying to select a nice mix so that you can choose the one that you either like most, or maybe want to work in that industry, or maybe in that company. And we've had many cases when students were offered jobs, internships, after completing the project, so the companies liked it so much. Then another big development was you guys, the Academy. So from the very beginning, professors who teach university business students would come to us and say, can my child participate? I have this very smart daughter. She's 15, so smart, gets all the best grades in the school. Can she please participate? And we would discuss it, and we would think, well, most of our students are MBA students, university students, 25, 28, 23, 30 something. And here we have a little kid. I mean, how would it work? So we would say no, no, no. But then at some point we thought, you know what, maybe let's try. Let's just try and see what happens. And so the first time we did it, I even enrolled both of my kids. At that time, they were like 10 and 13 or something like that. I just wanted to see if it really works. And to my surprise, it actually worked very, very well. So the kids got very engaged. My children would sometimes stay up, like till past midnight, because they had a meeting with someone from Asia on the team, or wake up at 5 a.m. and wake up the whole family because they have a meeting. We had to teach them how to, prepare reports, business plans, presentations. My kids, I even had to teach them how to write emails, because they only text, 2 words, 3 words at a time. And here they had to write like full documents. And actually, it was very, very educational for them. And especially, it seems like it was in great demand among the sort of pre-college teens. So ages, 17, 16, 15, maybe 14. So those who are getting ready to go to college. And so they would like to kind of increase their chances of getting a stipend, of being admitted. So they're looking for something that can differentiate them from the rest of the applicants. So they want to have something on that resume, so that when the admissions committee looks at it, they will say, oh, that's interesting. So this guy completed a real business consulting project with the team from all around the world, did a presentation in Zoom. Wow, this is so cool. And so we started doing that. So we primarily now focus on those older teens, and they go through the whole package. So they first complete a theoretical training. They learn how to use online collaboration tools, how to work in a team, how to, basics of international business, how to present. Then they work in teams for about 2 months. They actually complete the project. Then they present their work. They write up the report. So the whole thing. And obviously, at the end, they get a wonderful XCulture certificate and a very long and detailed XCulture recommendation letter. And we get so many letters from students of all kinds, of all ages, who say something like this. Like, for example, I was applying for a job, and I show up for the job interview, and there are like 50 other people waiting in that room, to be interviewed. And I'm like, oh, I have no chance. There are so many people, they're probably smarter than me. And then I come to the job interview in the room, and they start asking me questions. And, I can see that I'm just like everybody else, no chance. But then I pull out my XCulture certificate and I say, oh, by the way, I completed this project with people from all around the world. And the interviewer wakes up and like, oh, tell me more. So you did that? Oh, that's so interesting. Here is the job. Congratulations. When can you start? So it had happened so many times, and we're very happy about that. And I'll
So,
conclude with
wait, I want to interject because I don't think Dr. Voss realized this, that I actually went through that entire process, what he just described. For COVID, my university here in Miami is closing because, again, we're a very large university and they decided to close a couple of the campuses, and one of the campuses was my campus. And so in the beginning of the summer, I called Dr. Voss and I'm like, can you believe it? I've been teaching for this institution for 20 years and now I find myself without a position. So he's like, Leilani, you're going to do great. I'm going to write you a letter of recommendation with XCulture and blah, blah, blah. So my director at my university finds this position very close to my house, closer than the other job. And I said, oh my gosh, it's a window of 2 weeks. They're never going to hire me. They probably have already somebody in mind. And I called Dr. Voss and Dr. Voss says, just try it. My boss says, just try it. The first thing I showed them as an international business professor was my XCulture certificates and all the activities that I did with XCulture. Can I tell you, they pursued me. They improved the paycheck, the salary. They did so many things because of my ability to participate in this organization at the capacity that I'm participating in. So it just doesn't work for you guys or for college students. It also works for all of the professors. I would not be where I am today professionally if it hadn't been for my participation in XCulture. So thank you so much, Dr. Voss, but it doesn't happen just for you guys. It also happens for us.
Yeah. And somebody actually asked, what are the benefits of XCulture? So let me actually list them very quickly. So one, you gain international business experience. So you will complete a real business project with proper training and guidance in a team of international team members. Second, you will find friends all around the world. So people often become very close friends. My kids are still in contact with the team members from a few years ago when they participated. We have a very nice tight group. Like somebody's asking, how do you get on the panel? Well, the people here on the panel are all former XCulture participants, and they liked XCulture so much that they stayed with us and essentially became XCulture, I guess, employees, partners would be a better word. Yes. So each of them is responsible for a different direction. So some of them help us manage our social media. Some of them run trainings. Others are responsible for helping students with all kinds of things. So organize webinars, invite guest speakers, so do all kinds of things. We even had a couple of XCulture students who got married a couple of years ago. So they were on the same team. He was from Italy and she's from the United States. And so they became close friends. Both were very good students. So they were invited to the XCulture Symposium in Italy. We had it in 2018. He proposed, she accepted, and they got married. So why not?
I didn't know this, and I didn't get invited to the wedding.
Yeah, so, and then we also had in Canada, we got a call from another former student who says, can we come to the symposium because we need to have a business meeting? And I'm like, what?
Oh, yes.
About Alex Mbaka and Jasmine
Campo.
And so we're talking about, no. After we completed XCulture, we created a company. So it's a partnership. And so there are like 5 of us co-founders, but we are all in different countries, in Kenya, in Ukraine, in the United States, and maybe missing one. And we need to meet. And so we were looking for where we should meet. And we thought, since you're meeting in Canada for the XCulture Symposium, maybe we should just come for our business meeting, but also to say hi to you. And so they all came to Canada. So that's nice. So they have a firm. And
remember too that your kids, after they finished virtual, the Academy virtual, you flew them to Italy, and that's where they met all of their friends.
Yes, they met. So there were other kids. Then there was one from Ecuador, and then there was from the United Kingdom, Ajay. So there was one from Russia, mine.
Yes, Anna from Russia. Yes, they were so cute. Yeah.
But also, as Dr. B said, we take research very seriously. And so we conducted a few studies and then published a few papers on the effectiveness of XCulture. And so we looked at how XCulture impacts our students. And so what we found, for example, is that cultural intelligence of students improves from before to after the project significantly. We noticed that students also show more confidence in their ability to work with people from other cultures, and they're more interested in working with people from other cultures. They get higher grades in international business courses compared to the control group. When they participate the second time, which many do, they're much more likely to be the team leader. The team writes better reports, which tells us that they learn something, so that they definitely, the second time they do it better, so the first time they learn something useful. And so when Dr. B said that we want to make the world a better place, it's not just the words, because, we do have empirical evidence that our students become better at dealing with people from other cultures. And so in the time that we live in today, when we have all those Brexits, walls, exits, wars, conflicts, they need to work together to solve global pandemics, global geopolitical conflicts. If we can prepare a few thousand people who are good at dealing with people from other cultures, who knows, maybe we will make the world a better place, reduce the chance of the Third World War, so to speak. So why not? And I want to conclude with something that I just accidentally found. I don't know why I have it in my scrap paper. Here is an old XCulture certificate. And you guys, all of you who participate in the last 3, 4, 5 years, you know that the new one is blue and it has the XCulture logo. But this is the old one, and that's from the time when we had not as many participants, not as many universities, and we could put every university logo on the certificate. So each of these logos, that's the participating university. And this one is from 2014. And we had at that time 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So at that time we had only about 70 universities. So that just reminded me how much we have grown, because around 2015, we had to change the certificate design because we just didn't have enough space for every university anymore. And so we had to drop it. But I kind of like that when we had the list of all countries and all universities on the certificate itself. Yeah. All right, I'm going to stop here. Dr. B, I guess all
Yes. So we're 10 minutes, Raphael, I know we're 10 minutes late already. Yeah. So you can take the time off of our end time. So Raphael is actually going to be monitoring and managing all of our segments today. If you have questions, so all of these wonderful, beautiful, amazing people are going to be watching the chat. So as you go through, if you have questions, go ahead and post it in the chat, and they will be answering as needed, okay?
In the Q&A. Yeah, Q&A, there is a button that literally says questions and answers. Q&A, so if you have any questions, please post them there, and we will see them answered.
And we will answer you on the spot. And so coaches, if you guys could please monitor that, and as needed, go ahead and answer it. Also, if it's something that we're going to cover at the end, so we have a detailed orientation of what's to come in the end. So be mindful that that's also coming. But otherwise, Raphael, take it away. And you are now our master of ceremony.
Okay. Thank you, Dr. B and Dr. Bass, for the introduction. And now, as you may see, there are a lot of young faces here in our panelists, as they were former XCulture Academy students. So I will invite 2 of them to talk about their experience and share their knowledge towards their program. Okay?
Great, thank you, Raphael. Tejas, if you would like to share the slides so we can begin.
Could you just enable screen sharing for participants?
I'm not sure how to do that, to be honest, embarrassingly enough. For some reason, sometimes the chat is on and sometimes it's not. And I don't know how to, if somebody knows, maybe please help me here.
If you could make me a co-host, I could screen share them.
Oh, we just need to make you the co-host. That's easy. That's easy. Sorry, Dehas. Yes, of course. Yes. And I'll do that to everyone.
Thank you.
Okay, great. So firstly, I would just like to welcome everyone to the XCulture family. I'm really happy to have you all aboard, and I can't wait to work with you and to get to know you all better. So let me introduce myself. My name is Leon Maspero. I am 17 years old and I'm from South Africa. I first joined XCulture at the beginning of 2019 as a student, and now I'm currently completing my third semester as a senior coach. Today, Tejas and I will be sharing our personal journey with XCulture. So without further ado, Tejas, the stage is yours.
Thank you very much, Leon. Hi, everyone. I'm Tejas. I am 14 years old and I'm from India. This is my third semester with XCulture and my first semester as a senior coach. I first began with XCulture back in 2018, and I look forward to working with all of you and wish you all the best of luck. So without further ado, let's talk about our experience with XCulture.
So as I look back on my journey with XCulture, I realized just how much I've actually grown through this amazing program. When I first joined at the beginning of 2019 as a student, I never imagined how much I would fall in love with this program, and it never crossed my mind that through XCulture I would be given the wings to fly. I am an only child homeschooled in South Africa, and through XCulture I have gained so many skills that I would never have been exposed to before. And I wouldn't actually be the person I am today if I hadn't joined XCulture. That is how much it has impacted my life. I've learned to believe in my abilities and actually trust myself, and for that I am so grateful. So XCulture has also given me the platform to grow endless skills, as well as the opportunity to meet some of the most important people in my life. I have worked with so many inspiring people that have changed my life and become some of my closest friends. When you join XCulture, you're not just joining a program, you're joining a global family. In today's world, it is hard to find a sense of belonging. At least I have found that. And I truly feel that I belong to this amazing family. There's something so amazing about working with people from all around the world. We're all from different cultures and with different backgrounds, and yet XCulture shows that in the end, we're all just global citizens. And for that, I have to thank you, Dr. Vass and Dr. B, from the bottom of my heart for changing the world. There's something so special about XCulture. It is a masterpiece. To be honest, I don't think I could imagine a life without XCulture in it. This program has become a part of my heart, and for that reason, alongside so many others, I'm determined to make sure this program grows to its full potential. My XCulture journey has only just begun, and I know there are going to be many more challenges awaiting me, but there are also going to be endless opportunities and adventures, and I honestly can't wait. Tejas.
Well, I really cannot describe effectively how much XCulture means to me, but I will try my best. If I were to use 3 words to describe my XCulture experience, they would be exhilarating, astonishing, and educational. It has honestly been one of the best experiences of my life, and I would personally do it again, without a shred of doubt. If I really begin to unpack my experience, there are a few things that I would really need to delve into. Firstly, the entire idea and structure of this project, alongside the final goal of providing business solutions to real-life companies, was all a very novel concept that truly encapsulated me. I had never felt more motivated and eager to take part in a project before. The opportunity to look at the world of business from a macro point of view was something that personally excited me, as it is a topic that most educational curriculums worldwide do not even ponder close to. And as tasks were introduced to us, I really felt a drive to work on the projects and come up with innovative business solutions. Secondly, the concept of global virtual teams, which is something that I'm assuming that you might be aware of, was frankly quite innovative. The sheer diversity that this project demands amongst its students is really what makes this community one of the most smart, modern, and future-minded. I personally consider myself to be very lucky to have received the same opportunity that many of you are receiving today. Was it difficult? Absolutely. Were there challenges? Definitely. However, in this period of combating these obstacles alongside some of the most brilliant young minds that I have ever interacted with, I became much more self-aware and knowledgeable. So when I got the opportunity to become a coach for this program, I knew I was not going to turn it down. The chance to interact with many more diverse and yet like-minded individuals through a process of completing a series of tasks really excited me. And I look forward to working with all of you, and I look forward to a great new semester. With that, let's talk a little bit about how you can make your XCulture experience worthwhile.
Okay, so my first piece of advice to you is to communicate. I can't stress how important communication is when working in a team, and actually in general everyday life. Through my journey with XCulture, I have grown to learn how important it is to communicate with the people you're working with. And when I say communicate, I don't mean professionally. I mean actually personally reaching out to them. When you have no idea actually how far a how are you goes. Communication is the base of everything. Without it, you might as well be walking in the dark. I want you to think about this. Is it easier to solve an issue with a friend or a stranger? A friend, of course. It's easier to work through a challenge together when you have common ground. My second piece of advice is to actually take challenges as a learning curve. So as you might know, or as you might actually see, is I'm extremely nervous about public speaking. I don't think I'm covering this up very well, but it's been a great challenge of mine. And through XCulture, I have been able to overcome it. I used to be way worse than I am right now, but I think every time I have to do a webinar or a presentation, I grow my skill a little bit more. So that is just an example of whenever you face a challenge, don't see it as a setback, rather see it as a learning curve and a way to grow. Tejas?
Definitely, I would really agree with you on the point of challenges. I would also say that you should really try to give this project your absolute 100%, because the more you actively engage with each other and the more effort you try to put into this project, the better kind of results you will get. And the more effort you put into interacting with your teammates and getting to know them on a more personal level, will you be able to collaborate better and work more effectively towards this project. So if you really want to make your experience more worthwhile, I would definitely suggest that you give it your absolute best. Finally, I would really say that it is important to get to know your team. Getting to know your team is something XCulture really encourages, because frankly, XCulture has a very diverse set of students who come from a variety of backgrounds with a variety of cultures and ethnicities and values and beliefs. So therefore, in order to understand and work better with an individual, it is important to get to know them on a personal level. This is very much related to the topic that Leon mentioned about communication. So now we would like to talk about our thoughts on our XCulture journey. So why did you join XCulture, Leon?
Okay, so the reason I joined is firstly, I had absolutely no idea about business, and I also had no idea about how to work in global virtual teams. And I absolutely love challenging myself. So I thought, what better way to step completely out of my comfort zone and, I don't know, give it a shot and see how it went. And I am so glad that I actually did join. So, yep. And for you, Tejas?
Definitely, I really love challenging myself as well. And I really love studying business as a subject, and really wanted to learn about this novel concept of international business. And when the opportunity was presented to me, I knew I was not going to turn it down. What do you love the most about XCulture?
Okay, so the list is literally like so endless, but if I had to say one thing, it would be the people. I don't think XCulture would be as amazing as it is without the people. So that's would be my answer. How about you, Tejas?
Definitely, I would say that what makes this program really beautiful is that it has a very diverse community of individuals, and you can literally experience the world through these people. The beliefs and values that these people bring to this program is really what amazes me even to this day. So, what do you see as the most rewarding aspect of XCulture?
For me personally, I would say actually seeing people grow and flourish as they go through their journey with XCulture, it's just such a special thing to see people actually truly believe in their abilities. And for you?
I would definitely agree. The growth that this program provides is truly mesmerizing. It allows individuals to not only grow in terms of their academic abilities, but it also allows them to grow on a more personal level as people become much more self-aware about their abilities and their strengths over the course of this program. So what are your plans to contribute to XCulture?
So I think basically every morning I wake up with about 100 new ideas of how I can give back to XCulture and help it improve. So I can't necessarily pinpoint it, but I would say my goal is just to give back everything that XCulture has given me and make sure that everyone else who joins this program has such an amazing experience. And yourself?
Definitely, I would agree that I would really try to strive to make this experience worthwhile for all our like participants for this semester and for the future semesters, because frankly you can gain a lot from this program, and it is my personal goal to make this experience really worthwhile. And with that, we would like to complete our first part of our presentation with a quote by Mahatma Gandhi: "Be the change you wish to see in the world." XCulture is a community of change makers and pioneers worldwide. And this vote is really relevant to how this project is basically going to go for all of you. We are open to any and all questions that you may have. You can just put them in the chat and we will definitely try to answer them. We will not be answering questions live, unfortunately, because of the time constraints. And with that, we would like to end our presentation. We wish you all the very best of luck for this academic term. And we wish that all of you will have a very splendid experience with XCulture. If you have any other questions that you may come up with in the coming few hours or days, you can definitely reach out to us. Our email IDs are over here. I will also put them in the chat section. And thank you very much for paying close attention to our presentation.
Thank you.
Thank you, Tejas and Leon, for your presentation. I think that the students know more about us right now. So thank you very much. Now I will invite Nicole and Jaron to talk about the coaching program and how we will help you during this semester.
Okay, I'm just gonna share my screen now first. Okay, so I'm just gonna introduce myself. So hey everyone, welcome to the program. It's very exciting to have you all here. Today, I'm going to be presenting about what we as coaches do in the academy side of the program. So I'm going to be presenting this with Nicole and Raphael. So I'm going to allow Raphael to introduce himself first.
So my name is Rafael. I'm from Brazil, and I've been senior coach for the past 3 or 4 semesters, I think 2 years. And for this semester, I'll be coordinating all the coaches, and also I'll be administrating the emails that you send to Academy. So feel free to send the emails with questions and concerns, and I will be glad to answer.
Then it's me. I'm Jaren, and I'm from Malaysia. I'm currently 17. I joined XCulture in 2019, the second semester. I became a coach in the first semester of 2020, and I became a senior coach the second semester of 2020. I'm now going to allow Nicole to introduce herself.
Thanks, Jaron. So my name is Nicole. I'm from Canada. I'm 16. I participated in XCulture for the first time in the first semester of 2020. And then I served as a coach in the second semester of 2020. And now will be my first time as a senior coach. Okay, so the first topic we're going to be discussing is one of the main roles of coaches, which is to assist students to solve any issues they might encounter. And there are 2 types of issues which we'll be discussing.
So as coaches, we have been taught and have seen many types of issues that goes through the program, some which will be explained during your theoretical phase soon. So the 2 types of issues that we face the most are organizational and personal issues. And for organizational, the following issues are assigning roles, establishing contact with team members, distributing workload, and suggesting appropriate means of communication. These are some of the few ones that we have seen the most throughout the program, and it's always happening every semester. So as coaches, you can ask us to help give suggestions on these following issues, such as for assigning roles. Sometimes teams may want to have a team leader, and you do not know how to pick a team leader, or you are having a problem picking one. So you may ask us to help suggest on how you can pick a team leader and all. And then follow establishing contact with team members. So every semester, there are some times where you can't contact your team members, maybe due to time zone differences, or you're just not able to contact them because maybe they don't check their emails and all. So as coaches, we will help you to establish contact with those that you can't contact, and then followed by distributing workload. So in this program itself, the reports is a very big thing. There are many sections of the report to deal with. And we have seen where there are times that the participants themselves can't seem to help distribute the workload, maybe because they themselves may have a lack of certain abilities, or they do not understand certain things, but others do. So you may ask us to help in suggesting how you can distribute workload amongst yourself as well. And suggesting appropriate means of communication. So in today's era, there are many types of communication used, and this has been discussed among coaches a lot of times as well. So participants can always have a problem in picking one main type of communication. And as coaches, we can suggest many different types based on our own experience using them. But it's up to the team still to pick one that is suitable and appropriate for all members to decide. Now I'm going to allow Nicole to explain about personal issues.
So in your teams, you may also encounter some personal issues. So the first main type is experiencing any type of conflict with a member. It's extremely important that you can either let a coach know or communicate with these team members, because we want to get to the root cause of the issue or the conflict you're experiencing with that other team member. So in the event you experience a conflict with a member, we'd work with you to kind of discover what the main issue and what that root cause of the conflict is, and then we'll communicate with you and offer some suggestions on how you can solve this conflict. And we may get in contact with other members who are part of this conflict and work with you to resolve any conflicts that has arisen. The second main type of personal issue that you may experience are doubts. So you may have doubts about the program, doubts about yourself, doubts about any of your team members. It's also important that we can address these doubts. So you just can simply let a coach know something you're doubting, and we will work with you to address these doubts so that it will help you to be more productive later on, and it won't interfere with your overall team dynamic. And then the third main type of problem, personal problem you may experience while participating in XCulture is having problematic members of your team. It's not uncommon to have a problematic member of your team, but you may not expect to have necessarily a problematic member in your team. So a strong example of this would be having a free rider in your team, so someone who won't contribute to the report, someone who makes excuses. However, you don't know their personal circumstance, and maybe for 1 week they aren't contributing because of their own personal issues, but the following week they'll be an active contributor. So it is important, though, to let a coach know if there are any problematic members, that we can communicate with that team member and understand their individual circumstance and see if we can do anything to help them to be an unproblematic member and contribute more effectively to your team.
Next is report review. So as coaches, you may ask us to help in reviewing your reports. So there is a specific team in the coaching program that does that, but you may want us to give a feedback immediately, or you need a suggestion quick. So you may ask us to help in reviewing your reports. And while doing that, we have two things that we do. We identify and we suggest. So in identifying, we identify parts that need improvement, and those parts are either unnecessary information or unclear information. Unnecessary information means that information that may have been placed there, but it's not necessarily needed in your report, such as a picture or a data that is not needed, and you placed it there. But we do have to take into consideration that those reviewing your reports later on at the end of the program can't always spend their 100% time into reviewing it, or may not be able to read as much or read the whole report if it's too long. So we try to remove unnecessary information, but as again, we are just suggesting and not forcing it onto you. And for unclear informations, it can be such as you may have done a survey for your report, and you may have placed that the data of the survey into your report, but you may not have explained what the survey is about or what the data is about. So that can become an unclear information and may cause a problem for further coaches to understand your report, or company representatives or professors. So that is what we meant by unclear information. In suggesting, we suggest on how to structure the information clearly and what you should add or exclude from your report. And what we mean by that is that there are many ways you can structure your report based on your team's choices and all. But we as coaches have seen reports throughout individual semesters and all that. And there are many ways a report can be structured, such as bullet point forms, paragraphs, and all that. So based on each section, we may want to structure it differently, and we can give suggestions based on those, but it's also the team to decide how they wish to structure it as well. And for what you should add or exclude from the report, is the same as identifying. So we will identify like pictures or unnecessary information from your report that you should not, or that it would not be suitable to have in your report, and we would suggest that you should exclude it. And if there are information that we think is suitable for your report, we would suggest that you add that instead. Next is
So another main responsibility of the coaches is to prepare webinars. So there are essentially two types of webinars that coaches may be assisting in. So the first, coaches throughout their coaching semester will work to create an informational webinar on a topic that will contribute to your personal growth or to your success in a global virtual team. So they will create these webinars for all of the Academy participants. All of XCulture participants will be welcome to attend, and the team they're coaching will also be welcome to attend. So they'll be creating these webinars, and I highly encourage all of you to at least attend one or even multiple, because you can gain a lot of relevant experience and information from these webinars. And then the second type of webinar, or I really should say meeting, that coaches will be assisting in is the meetings or the video meetings you'll be having within your own teams. So it's very important that you, when you're communicating with your team members, you try to have webinars or video conference meetings where you can discuss in real time with your team members, opposed to just using email or a communication platform that is entirely text-based. So coaches can help you to schedule the time, because it's very common that you'll have team members who are in different time zones than you, or who are in school when you're available and home. So it can be difficult to find a time, but there are tools that we'll suggest to use, and there are ways that coaches can help you to discover the best time that works for your team. We can also help you to manage this team webinar meeting, so we can be in attendance helping you manage and then allocate the time effectively within these meetings that you're having within your global virtual teams. Okay, so another main responsibility of coaches is to evaluate reports and to help choose the best teams in the report that they think are the best. So coaches, senior coaches, and professors will all work to read through your reports and to help select the best teams. So they'll read through your reports. Everyone's report will be read through by multiple people, and they will suggest feedback and give you ways to improve. And this can be very valuable. Even if you are not selected as the best team, you'll still have valuable feedback that will help you to improve in the future. So we will be going through all the reports and providing feedback, but while we're going through these reports, we'll work to identify the better reports, and the best reports will be invited, and they'll be creating video presentations, essentially summing up what you have said in your report. And the best video presentations will be selected by coaches and senior coaches, and they'll be invited to present live in front of all of the XCulture participants, and then through those live presentations, a judging panel of professors will decide who they believe is the best video presentation team, and those will be selected as the winner for XCulture.
So I'm now going to introduce the rest of the coaching team. Oh, did Dr. Vas want to say something?
I just wanted to say that last semester we had 7, I believe, teams that were finalists and did the presentations to the company. So we had, 1,000 of teams total or so. And then there were a few hundred who participated in this video presentation competition. And then eventually we selected 7 that did a big live presentation. And interestingly, among the winners or among the finalists was one of the companies from the pre-college team. So they were competing against old MBA students, university students, and still were among the winners. So congratulations. And if you're just—
I have to make a correction, Dr. Voss.
Yes.
The academy team actually was higher than the college team.
Right, right. So the way we did it, there were like 100 people, who were judging the quality of presentation. And I think the academy team actually got the highest average rating from the audience, yes.
We win. We win.
So, but they must have spent so much time preparing and rehearsing and everything, but it's
Yeah.
possible. It's possible.
Hard work, but you guys, it's an amazing experience. Okay, sorry, Jaren, we're
No
out.
problem. So I'm now going to introduce the rest of the coaching team. Some may be here, some are not here, maybe due to other personal things that they have today. So the coaching team is Raphael, who is our coordinator, Annette, who is a senior coach from Kenya, Leon, who is from South Africa, you have seen her earlier, Nicole, who is presenting with me, she's from Canada, me, I'm from Malaysia, Emily from the US, Tejas from India, and Ania from the Philippines. And before I end, I'm just going to give this quote from Martin Luther King Jr. And it's, you don't need to see the whole staircase, just take the first step. What we mean by this is that during your report, it is a big report, and we know it may be stressful for some of you who have not done something like this first. We as coaches have gone through it as well. And for me, I would suggest that you should just start, and by the time you start, you will have ended. By that, it's also meaning that you should work with your teammates. Don't be afraid to do it. Your coaches, we as coaches are there to help and support you throughout the whole program till the end. So by that, I would like to say thank you to everyone for listening. And if you have any questions, we will answer it in the Q&A later.
And we do have a lot of questions in the Q&A. I must have answered like 60, 70 of them in the last several minutes. So we'll address some of them in more detail, guys. So yeah.
Okay, thank you, Jaren, Nicole, for your presentation. Now we will have a very small game, so you can now participate. So I will invite Annette and Ania to show the game for you.
Hi everyone. First, I want to welcome you and I wish you a really great journey. This journey you're beginning is an exciting one and I'm sure you're gonna really, really love it. So now we've heard about everything about XCulture, all the amazing experiences that you're headed to face, and you're going to have it and enjoy it. So now it's time for us to relax and check how attentive you were during the session, because some of these questions you're going to realize that they've already been discussed, and yeah, you will get it right. We have a Kahoot game that I and Ania are going to present. And I'll just take you through the Kahoot game before Ania introduces herself, because she has a lovely voice. We have to hear from her. So if you do not know how to play Kahoot, you just have to go to the Kahoot website and just type in Kahoot it, and then you will be able to enter the pin that Ania will display. Ania, welcome to introduce yourself, and then you can be able to share the game.
So hello, I'm Ania. I'm from the Philippines and I'm a senior coach this semester. I participated as a student twice, once in 2019 and once in 2020, while being a coach at the same time. And I would like to say it has been a great experience and it is amazing. And I can't wait for all of you guys to join us. Now I will share the screen so you can all play. Okay.
So guys, that is the code. It is 1780854. When you go to the Kahoot website, this is the code you type in for you to be able to join the game. I can see Leon has already joined.
I love these games. This
Nelson,
time I'm determined to win. Last time the kids beat me, but I'll try my best this time.
Yeah, we're looking forward for that, Dr. Voss.
Yeah.
And we can see a real Karen.
Guys, thank you so much for organizing them.
Yeah. Oh, thank you guys. You're all in Irland. Oh, okay. Yeah, you're joining very fast. Thank you. You're welcome.
It's funny, Dr. Voss, because I also did it last semester and I also got beaten by the participants.
Yeah.
Okay, Gerard, you're not allowed to attend. You're not allowed to play the game. You might.
Dot it, because yeah. So
yes, Kahoot it.
Yeah. So
This one
Dot
at
com
the top.
doesn't-
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
I lowered the volume so you can
But
hear
it's
us
it,
talk.
not dot .com, Kahoot dot it.
Yeah, it's Kahoot.it.
All right, okay.
If you have a Kahoot app on your device, you can just join. You can just key in the code and then you'll be in. Oh, can't you have already have 54 participants?
Yeah. All right, I see we have a lot of questions in Q&A still coming in. Guys, I'm going to take a pause from answering the questions. I want to play the game. So that's like the fifth time I'm playing. I never was able to win, so I'm determined this time.
Yeah, we're up to 62 now. Thank you guys, join in.
Good luck, Dr.
And
Bas. You have to like really pay attention to this.
Yeah, it just, you guys, it seems like younger brains are faster. So every time, by the time I get the answer, somebody already beat me to it. So
Speed.
I keep
All
saying
about
evolution is still happening, Dr. Vas.
yeah, I know, I know. And yeah, see, this game is fair. So no favoritism, no bonus for age or seniority. So I guess, you know.
Exactly, yeah. So yes, guys, I'm happy you're joining in. We are up to 72 participants now.
Mhm. It's possible that some people may be not joining the game because sometimes on the phone you cannot do multiple things if they're joining, if they're in Zoom. So I guess, you know, that's okay if not everyone participates. Although if you do
Yeah,
have an opportunity to participate, I highly recommend it. It's a lot of fun.
it's too much fun and too much knowledge to gain from here. There's some things you thought you could have missed out and you just remember, oh my God, this one was talked about by Dr. Vaz or Dr. B or Leon or, I mean, it is too much fun, guys. We are up to 80. So when we get to, I think we can start, Ania.
Okay. I'll leave the game unlocked so that you guys can join in at any given moment during the game.
Okay.
So, first question, what does SWOT stand for?
Yes.
Annette, you look very happy seeing all the answers.
I am not playing.
But like the number of answers.
Yes. Oh, nice. Oh my God.
Wow. 43.
Wow.
So let's see who's on the podium.
Amazing. Jackson is Avira,
Averell.
Nicole, Tejas. Okay, I will have to disqualify Nicole and Tejas. You guys already know this. I will take Jackson, Avera, and SH.
Okay, next question. The most important communication skill is?
Leon talked about this in her presentation, guys. Oh, I can see the correct answers are many.
Everybody was
Interesting.
listening.
Dr. Vas, don't give them the answer.
I'm not giving them. Oh, okay, yeah. Okay, that was unintentional. I didn't make.
Okay.
Amazing.
Behas, you're not
Tejas,
qualified
you're
here.
disqualified.
No, wait, why?
You know the answer.
You should
Tejas,
just
you know
put
the
that
answer.
coaches can't
Tejas
play
and
it.
Nicole, you're disqualified.
How they? Yeah.
Okay, then Karen
Okay, so
takes it.
I'll
Joel,
never-
Avero. Yeah, nice.
Next. What are the 5 C's of effective communication?
Wow. Now this is the test right there. You guys are actually you guys are getting this right. Wow.
You're very participative.
What is caustic chide cipher? That's oh, I didn't even have a chance to answer.
To be able to form this, you have to put some wrong answers, Dr. Voss.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. So Nicole takes the lead. We need to dethrone Nicole and Tejas.
Nicole and Tejas, you need to stop playing, please.
Well,
we need to get the real winners.
We cannot force them, but we have to be faster. So let's try to.
Exactly.
Them.
So Karen, Annie, Magdalena, congrats.
How many
different nationalities do we usually have in XCulture? Dr. Vaz talked about this, guys.
Yeah,
I'm sure everyone is going to get this right.
this one's tricky. So depending on how you count nationalities, is it by the location where the people are now, by the country where they were born, by the actual nationality that, you know, they have in the passport?
A,
So
Dr. Voss, either way, this is big. So
yeah,
yeah,
I'll
that's
just go
right.
to this one. So if you actually look at nationality as, you know, basically, you know, what country the person is the citizen of, yes, it's definitely more than 100. So it probably would be more like 150, 170 in a given semester. So it may be only about up to 80 countries of location in a given semester. But if you look by, you know, country of origin and nationality, it's definitely closer to 200. We have a lot of
And
international students.
this was actually open. It was like XCulture, not just in a particular semester. It was just XCulture. So it was open.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nicole and Tejas,
So
I
we have
am
Nicole
disregarding you. Karen, congratulations. Magdalene, Sahom, you guys are doing great.
All right.
Next. What action is considered rude in many Asian countries, especially Buddhism?
Gotcha. So,
Cultural intelligence right there, guys.
Mm-hmm.
um, I love these
Wow.
questions. So actually learning something new. So I was guessing, but I'm not sure about this one. So
All of
you
the
got it
above.
correct?
Right. Many people got it right.
And
Karen,
there
you
goes
cultural
Tess.
intelligent. Veronica, Mave,
So Tejas and
oh,
Nicole on.
Alice, Joel. Yeah.
We have a chance. All right.
Okay, next. Which of the following works best in a global virtual team?
Okay, guys, I think Dr. Bass talked about this. He even said he did an empirical study on it.
You will not
So-
believe it, but we actually just published a paper where we look at which intelligence is most important in a global virtual team. So we look at cultural intelligence, emotional intelligence, and IQ, kind of general intelligence. Oh, I should not talk so much. So
Sorry,
all of the
guys.
above.
Sorry, guys.
Only 8.
It is cultural intelligence.
And you are right, cultural intelligence has the strongest correlation, but the other ones are also important.
Yes.
So, but you're right, cultural intelligence had the highest corration. Yep.
Karen
So
is
we have
still, Jackson, Karen, they're still leading. Magdalene, Veronica. Congrats, guys. Mavail
Next.
finally got it right.
When was
Oh,
XCulture Academy
I know this
launched?
one, I know this one.
Okay, okay. Can see the answers coming through. Go on, guys. All right, all right. Let's see if you are paying attention.
2017.
Wait a second, 2017? No, the correct answer is 2010. Oh,
This is
No,
XCulture
XCulture Academy.
Oh, yeah. I'm so, oh, yes, the academy.
This is the trick.
Yeah.
This was the
Oh.
trick. We needed to know if they were paying attention. There's a difference between academy and XCulture.
We
I
call
mean,
academy the pre-college and professionals.
exactly, exactly,
University track, and then we, okay. Oh, so.
These 9 people are paying attention.
Yeah.
exactly.
Okay, well,
You even
back
managed
the
to
most
confuse Dr.
important
Bass.
communication skill. Yeah.
It's a big achievement.
Big achievement in confusing Dr. Bass.
Go,
Okay, so Jackson.
Oh, Jackson was paying attention. Tejas, you're disqualified.
Yeah, that's
SH,
okay.
oh,
Jackson
great.
got him, so
Karen.
we will move him all the way. So, yeah, Kieran and SH, we will get him.
And Magdalena. Congrats, guys.
What
You're
is
paying
the
attention.
XCulture coaching program?
All right, guys, I'll give you a hint. Sorry, Jaron, Nicole, they spoke about this. Just a hint. Can see answers are coming through. Keep them coming, guys.
Wow.
Okay.
Great. So you were
67.
paying attention.
Good
Jackson,
Jackson,
Tejas, you're
Tejas.
disqualified. Magdalena,
remove
Kiran,
you.
Veronica. Congrats, guys.
Okay.
Well, did Tejas actually participate in creating the questions? Maybe he just knows the answers.
No, he did not participate, but
Well, that's fine.
he,
Yeah,
he has been in this long enough to know all these answers.
although I think Jackson will win the game. I mean, he is so.
Yeah, Jackson is doing really great.
Who's Jackson? I mean, how
And Magdalena and Kiran, they're good.
Okay, next.
Veronica, yeah.
What is the XCulture Symposium?
Hint, Dr. Vast. Oh no, hint, Dr. B talked about it.
Yes. Actually, you see there the picture from Italy from
You
2018.
can see Dr. B.
So
Yes, that is Dr. B right there at the corner.
Yeah, so we have
This one.
had what 14 of them before the lockdown happened. Yeah.
49.
Oh, you guys were paying attention. Great. Jackson again, Mavale,
job.
Veronica,
Guys, keep going
Shaklan.
out on
We
the
have a new one, guys. Shaklan is coming up.
Yes. Okay, next.
Somebody's asking about the pin in Kahoot. That's the number in the lower right corner. You will see in a
Yep.
second. Yeah, that 178.
1780854 is the game pin.
Okay, what is XCulture, guys? Now we are all here. We're in XCulture. What is XCulture? Great, great, great. I love it when you guys pay attention.
just an
Jackson
example.
again,
Okay.
Veronica,
I don't see
Alice.
Jackson on the list of participants. I wanted to invite him. I mean, assuming that he wins the game, I wanted to invite him to introduce himself, but I don't see any Jackson on the list of participants. So,
It could be their second name
or maybe one of those anonymous participants. Jackson, will
Ask him to raise her,
Yeah,
ask him to
raise
raise
your
his
hand.
hand.
Well, let's see. Maybe he will not win because Veronica is actually catching up and Alice. So maybe.
Veronica is catching up.
Yeah. So
Well, I
let's-
think you should invite the top three and have them
yes.
raise their
Okay,
hands.
let's do that. Yeah.
Look at Jackson's at 8,000.
So Jackson, Veronica, let's see how this unfolds after we are done with all the questions.
Oh, this is interesting. So the largest Japanese community, I think I
It
know.
lives
the-
outside Japan.
At least
Okay,
know
this is
that
cultural
I
intelligence.
visited
It's
the
a little
country.
bit
I saw
hard.
a lot of Japanese, but this one's trickier.
Yeah. Let's see how well we know our people and our neighbors.
So Brazil is the correct answer. Yeah, that's
It
what I.
was tricky, but yeah, you guys tried. Oh, Jackson again.
But there
Okay.
are a lot of Japanese in the United States too. So I don't know. I mean, like especially Hawaii, for example, California. So, but yeah, Brazil, I would have thought so too. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Dr. Vaz, you're on the leaderboard.
Am I? I didn't even
Yeah,
know.
you were last at the bottom.
Yeah.
How South Africa is famously known as.
Annette
Okay,
explained
guys.
this to me using Lion's
If you follow Leon, you will know this answer because she posts this a lot.
So California is the Golden State.
Uh-huh.
The South Africa.
The Pearl of Africa is Uganda.
Rainbow Nation. Okay.
The Rainbow Nation, guys. If you follow Leon, she always posts rainbows.
Guys, you should put what's the nickname of your countries or cities.
He's widening the lead every time.
Okay, Jackson, we need to know who you are. Please put your hand up and you need to introduce yourself. Let's continue. Is it we're done?
Next, one last.
Okay, one last
The
question.
Big Apple is the nickname of New York City. What is the nickname of China?
Great. At least I know Garden City is the nickname for Singapore. So let's see if you guys know the nickname for China.
Isn't that the?
I did not know this until
Isn't that like the Sky Empire? Or
I actually found out some of the coaches here did not know Singapore is just next to Malaysia as well.
Cultural intelligence, we're learning this
All
right
so
here.
Who's the winner? Who's the winner?
It has to be Jackson.
Chris.
Okay, Chris.
Chris,
Okay,
can
sorry.
you raise your
Can
hand?
we eliminate that one?
So just have to be eliminated.
It will show the runner-ups.
Well, that's okay. Yeah, Jackson.
Oh, Jackson,
So
number
Jackson,
one.
Chris, can you raise your hand? There is a button on your app that literally looks like raised hand. And so we want to invite you as panelists and we want to get to know you. So we have Chris and we have Samu. Samu, are you Jackson? Because we have more Jacksons now than
Monica, I think it was hard.
So which one, Samu? I assume you raise your hand. Okay, well let's see if we're gonna get. So which one was the mysterious Jackson?
The mysterious Jackson.
So which one is?
That should be a song.
So Chris and Samu and Joy. So Chris, I assume you are the Chris who got the second place, right?
I got the third.
The third. Okay.
Well,
Tell us about
yeah.
yourself.
Technically
Who
second.
you are, where you are. Introduce.
Okay. Hi everyone. I'm Chris, and I'm from Romania. I'm 17 years old, and what I really like is public speaking, and I really like, well, anything that has to do with web design and ballroom dancing also.
Or maybe you can help us with our website because it looks a little amateurish. So.
Well, actually, I really like it.
Oh, you do?
I like it too.
Yeah, I like it. Yeah, it's really fun, and it's quite easy to use.
Okay.
But if you need my help, I'm not sure whether I would be able to help well.
Maybe at least
but,
some advice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, nice.
Well.
And you're
I could,
Romania,
I
what
guess.
city are you in?
Sibiu.
Okay, very nice, very nice. Great. And then, so, okay, nice to meet you. And which one was Jackson? So, Joyce, were you the one? You raised your hand? So are you the winner? Are you Jackson or are you someone else?
I'm someone else. I'm not Jackson.
Well, since you're here, maybe you should introduce yourself too.
Yes, sir.
So where are you? How old are you? Tell us more.
No, sir. My name is Jyotsna.
Okay, and what's your location? What country are you from?
Sir, I'm from India.
India. Very nice, very nice. All right, okay, oh, we can see you now. Hi. So who is Jackson then?
Hi.
You won the game and we don't even know who you are. Raise your hand, we want to meet you.
Oh, no, sir. I'm not.
Yeah, that's fine, no worries, no worries. All right, well, I guess, Chris, we will put you back into the audience, and same thing with Jojtana, right? If I got the name right. I'm curious to know who that Jackson guy is. I mean, he did so well, and he's, yeah. All right. Okay.
Well, boss, somebody else raised their hand, so see if, yeah.
Unless that was one of the panelists and they just use pseudonyms so that nobody knows who they are. Yeah, well, Tejas, we know
There's Arisha, there's Abdul.
Yeah, that's probably somebody else. That's fine. We'll find out who Jackson is a little later then, so that's fine. So I'm sure he will also gets the best presentation certificate at the end, and we will know who he is. All right.
So Jaren is going to talk to us a little bit about the Facebook, so our social media program.
Yep.
Yeah. So hey everyone, it's me again. So this semester we're actually running 3 different groups, which is Discord, Facebook, and LinkedIn. And I'll be posting the links in the chat box later. But these social groups are actually for you to communicate with us coaches. So I actually have a few moderators with me, which are Leon, Ania. They are handling Facebook. And there's 2 more that is not here, but they are Yukta and Laiba. And Tejas is helping me with Discord. And the reason why I have these people helping me is because of more contents that we are able to produce in share minding with each other. So when you join these groups, we will have many exciting posts that we have prepared and are ready to share with you all. And we would love to interact with you all as much as we can. So during these times when we release the groups, LinkedIn is for professionals, so academy professionals only. And Facebook is for academy kids, teens. So if you're a teen and you join the LinkedIn group, I'm not allowing you in. And if you're a professional and you join the Facebook group, I'm also not allowing you in. And this is due to the difference in the content that we have prepared. And for Discord, Discord is for all. So Facebook and LinkedIn, you can join in. Okay, so if you do want to join, please, when you do join, we will screen through again. We are not simply letting you in. We will have to screen through. So do be patient when you join, as all of us are in different time zones and we can't be working 24 hours like me. I'm a dateless zombie right now. But yeah, we will let you in slowly, bit by bit. Okay, thanks everyone.
If I may just add one more thing. So we also have an XCulture Facebook page and an XCulture YouTube channel. And so on the Facebook page, we have something like 250,000 followers, and we try to post interesting information about culture and about international business. And so we have several people who are helping us manage it. Leona is especially working on that now. But if you guys have any interesting facts about different cultures or international business, maybe you can contribute too. So like, for example, I really found some of these questions in the Kahoot game today interesting, with information about, international teams and cultures. So if you would like to become contributors and maybe help us, inform the world, teach the world about cultures and IB, there will be opportunities for you to contribute, and we will appreciate that very much.
We will also be posting things like that. So if you do want to share, it's admins allowing only. So if you do want to post, you can post. Admins will screen through your post before we share it, due to certain reasons that we have to prevent mishappenings and all that. So we do want you all to share about your cultures or anything as well. So please do.
So there are two questions, Jaron. Let me just go ahead and ask it to you live, right? What if they don't have a Facebook page?
If you do not have a Facebook page, well, you can join our Discord. If you don't have a Discord, that's a big problem for us. We're still trying to figure out certain things. We won't be doing Instagram because that's a bit complicated right now, and we don't have the right resources to deal with it. And I will be looking into further platforms later on as we further go through the program.
We'll talk
but it
about
may be
that,
released
yeah.
next time.
And how do they know if they get, if they belong to the kids or the professionals?
So professionals is working adults, if I'm not mistaken, right? Or those above 18.
Yeah,
And for
yeah.
So for kids and teens is you're 17 and below, you can join the Facebook group, if I'm not mistaken. Is that right?
Yeah, and just to explain, so we take sort of privacy and safety of our participants very seriously. And so one of the potential, not really threats, but sort of concerns, so we don't want to mix people of very different ages. So when we will be forming teams, it will be matched by age. Let's say if you're 16, all your team members will be 16. If you're 14, all your team members will be 14, and so on. And so we try to keep, I mean, again, for the discussion groups, we cannot have a separate group for each age group, but there will be still one for the older people, 18 and older, and one for the 14 to 17. So
we have also, if you do join our Discord, we are planning certain things like maybe a game night or a movie night. So if you are interested in that, we may look into it also.
Yep.
So there's a lot of things planned.
And I see there are a lot of questions about Instagram, WhatsApp, Telegram. So there are definitely many communication channels, guys, obviously. So having thought about that for a long time, we decided to go with Facebook as the main sort of communication tool, mainly because it seems to be the most universal and the most suitable for that kind of communication. But once you will be placed on a team, so with international team members, it's up to you how you want to communicate. So many teams would have meetings in Zoom or Skype. Many teams would create a communication channel in Viber or for example, Telegram. So it's completely up to your team. You will receive training on all of those tools, so you know what exists and how to use them. But ultimately, it's up to your team to decide how you want to communicate. And maybe some teams will stick with email and only email. That's fine too. So, but for our communication, we will use Zoom for the live meetings like this one. And then the main communication channel or group for communication would be in Facebook, even though we know it's blocked, like for example, in China. So, but then the same problem is with every other tool, like no tool works everywhere. And so we had to choose one that seems to be the most universal, which seems to be Facebook.
And to also add on, the groups that we have set up, yes, it's for everyone to enter, and you all can enter freely.
Yeah.
But if you set up anything of your own, we are not responsible if anything happens there. If you join ours, we can still monitor and we can still help in maintaining the safety and all. So if you do set up any of your own, we do not, if you do invite us, we are still not going to be taking responsibility as you yourself set it up, and we cannot be managing a lot at the time.
And we really discourage that. We want you to create a platform, communications platform for your group, but to communicate with the masses, it would be more appropriate if you joined us on Facebook, because then you're getting direct information or direct links to us, right? Whereas if you go through another platform or another Facebook page that somebody else is managing, you might not get the full information, or it might be misconstrued. And then you know what happens when people mishear something, right? The information always gets muddled up.
Mhm. There is a very interesting question from one of the students asking if hijab would be a concern. No, it's not a concern. And in fact, as I said, XCulture is all about meeting people from different cultures, from different countries. And as you will see every type of attire, you will see every type of accent, language, and that's the whole purpose. And so don't be shy or afraid to show your cultural heritage. And so it's perfectly fine. And, you know, in fact, introducing your culture to the world is one of the benefits of XCulture. And so I can't wait to learn more about other cultures. I've been to many countries, but not all of them, obviously. And so I'd like to learn as much as possible about your culture. So no problem at all, whichever way you look, whichever way you dress, whichever way you speak. So teach us about your culture.
Yep. So again, Facebook is for kids and teens, so 17 and below. LinkedIn is for professionals, so if you're above 18 and all. And Discord is free for everyone. So when you, just a quick thing about Discord, when you enter to the welcome page, there is one where you will get a temporary role. It's a reaction role. Click on that and you will get a temporary role. Then we will sort through you again and we will give you an actual role, either teens and professionals. And both roles have their own different separate benefits. They have different channels talking about different things as well. And we do that again because certain contents don't work for adults and certain content don't work for kids. So do understand, we do understand that we take safety very as a big thing, and that everything is screened through by all the moderators there. And if you do have a problem, you can take it up with me about all three of these social groups. I'll leave my email inside as well. So anything to do with the social groups, just email me, either if it's a link problem or anything, because that has happened before and I had to reset the group. So if there's any problem you're facing through there, do message me immediately and we will try to solve it as soon as we can. And that's about it.
Okay, Dr. Voss, I think we are continuing on. Lots of questions about the stipend, lots of questions about
the technical sort of side. Yeah.
Yes,
So
yes.
let me briefly address how it goes from here. So first of all, there was a very good question about how selective is XCulture and do we accept everyone or not? This is a more difficult question than you may realize. And so let me give you sort of the process, the selection process step by step, and then you can calculate the acceptance rate based on that. So we got about 2,000 applications this semester. I didn't check the latest numbers, but it looks like we're approaching about 2,000 people who have submitted their applications and completed them fully. I think it was slightly below 2,000 as we checked it yesterday, but there would be probably a little bit more coming in. Generally, as long as your application is fully completed, everything is fine, you answered all of the questions, everything checks out, you will be invited to participate in the program. And so we send out the acceptance letters every few days. So if you applied within the last 48 hours or so, it's possible that we did not send out your acceptance letter yet, but we will send it today. If you applied a week ago or more time ago, then you should have received your acceptance letter. And if you haven't, two things need to be checked. One, check your spam folder. So as I said, it's about 2,000 applications, 2,000 acceptance letters that we sent out in the last few days. And so that means that sometimes some servers may think that we are spammers because we send the same long letter to many people. So sometimes our mail gets into spam folder, check it, maybe it's there. If not, then contact academy@xculture.org. We will take another look, maybe resend you the letter or maybe, see what's going on. Now, being accepted in this initial stage doesn't mean that you're accepted, you know, all the way. What happens next is what we call the theory training. So over the next 4 weeks, you will be going through theoretical training. So you will learn about online communication tools. You will learn about international collaboration and work in international teams. You will learn about basics of international business. So there will be 4 kind of big modules, 4 weeks, each concluded with a theory test. And you will have to take those tests and you have to pass all 4 of them to qualify for the actual practical phase in international teams. Last semester, we had a little over 1,000 applicants and something like 350 only qualified. So there were some people who just were apparently lazy, so they didn't even try. There were many who tried and apparently were not quite ready. So maybe they were not fluent enough in English, or maybe they were just not, you know, diligent enough to study and pass the test. And we had to disqualify those people for the reason that nobody wants to have people who are unqualified on their teams. Like, for example, when you will be on the team, you don't want to work with people perhaps who are not able to comprehend text and answer questions correctly, or maybe, you know, who do not speak English well enough. So the real selection happens during these 4 weeks. So we will pay attention to your ability to pass the test, but also to your literally just showing up and doing the test. Because again, you can be very smart, you can be very creative, you may know international business better than I do, but if you don't do those weekly tests, it tells me that maybe you're not motivated enough, maybe you're not organized enough. And again, because it's a team-based project, we cannot allow people like that in the program. So we will see what percentage will pass this time. The coaches will work with you, will help you. So as long as you're trying, I hope you will be able to pass. But we expect to lose probably about half of the applicants, plus or minus, depending on, you know, how strong this class is. So it's up to you essentially. So we will not say no to you unless you fail the test. Then on March the 1st, so those who have passed all 4 tests, they will be placed on international teams. So March 1st, you will receive names of your team members. Somebody asked if I can choose my team. Well, the whole idea is that everybody is from a different country, and I assume you don't really know the rest of the people quite yet. So the teams will be formed on a random basis, other than we will make sure that the teams are sort of same age, plus or minus maybe 1 year. So as I said, if you're 16, all your team members will be 16. Maybe somebody will be 1 year older or younger, but generally everybody will be the same age. And so on March the 1st, you will receive the email with the names and contacts of your team members. And then it will be up to you then to take it from there. So you will introduce each other by email, I assume, but then you will have to decide how you're going to communicate. Are you going to stick with email, or will you create a WhatsApp group, or will you use Zoom meetings? It's completely up to you. I recommend, based on my research, to use video conferencing at least sometimes. So at least maybe like once a week or maybe every 2 weeks. Do have a live meeting. Our research shows that when teams communicate with video, they develop much better relationships and actually do a better job. So in a team, you will be for 8 weeks, and each week there will be a little deliverable that you need to do. So there will be a weekly, what we call progress survey. So you will get an email every Tuesday that will provide you your performance review of the last week, your peer evaluations, the quality of your work, but then it will also contain a link, and you will need to click on that link by Sunday of each week, and then report how your team is doing. So we will ask you to submit some work to show that you're making a progress as you're working on the project, but also it will ask you to evaluate performance of your team members, and then basically tell us if everything's fine, is the team working well, any conflicts, any problems. If so, we will help you deal with them. And somebody asked, if I tell that there is a conflict in my team, will I lose points? No, you will not lose any points. So if there is a problem, tell us. We don't want you to have problems. We want to help you. And so if you don't tell us, we will not know about it and will not be able to help. Then the whole project, the team component, will be over in the last week of April. I believe it will be April 26th or something like that. And then all our professors, and so we have close to 200 professors from all around the world, from different universities. Mostly are from the United States and Canada, but there are many from Europe, many from other universities. So there will be a total of about 1,000 teams. So you guys, but then there will be, as I said, about 6,000 university students. So the professors will then read the reports and rate them. And so we will then, based on those ratings, we'll select the best teams, and we will select the teams that will be presenting their work to the clients. And so all of those presentations and selection of the winners, all of that will be in the first 2 weeks of May. So we will have all kinds of activities going on at that time where we will share experience and reflect on our, teamwork and what we learned. We will do the presentations, and then everything will conclude with a big sort of award and closing ceremony, which will be sometime around like May 15th, I believe. And so, and at that time, it will be basically over. The only thing that will happen afterwards is you will get your XCulture certificates and you will get your XCulture acceptance letters. So at that time, it will be basically it. And then the best of you will be invited to the coaching program, to the symposium, if we have it. Again, we will see how this whole COVID lockdown goes out. I mean, if it's still on or not, but then hopefully we will be able to start sending out the invitations soon enough. Those are kind of the main steps. The only other important thing is that at this time, you will be sort of on the resource page specifically designed for the academy track. But those of you who qualify to be placed on teams, you will receive a letter sometime in the last week of February, and you will be given a new link to a new resource page. At that point, you will be transferred to the university track. So as long as you qualify, you will be in the track with the real university students. So by that time, you will have passed all 4 tests. So we know that you are diligent, responsible, smart. And so at that point, we will literally transfer you to the university track, and you will be done with the university students. So those are kind of the main things. Dr. B, you probably may give them a little bit more details, right, about the weekly webinars, picnics, all that.
I want to talk about, and I'm sorry, I'm trying to keep up with the questions. I think we answered the questions about the stipends because there's a lot of those, right? So just to be clear, that if you requested to be considered for a stipend, that there is additional information that you have to submit before we can fully give you this stipend. For example, we need 2 letters of recommendation from either your school or someone you work with, and then you also need to upload your transcripts from school. Okay, so until you submit those, you don't actually have a stipend, and we are only giving a limited number of stipends. Not everybody who applies will get it. We're only giving a limited number. So you need to complete those forms. Now, if you have not received a approval whether or not you got the stipend, even though you completed it, just continue on with theory 1, because phase 1, because phase 1 is actually the theoretical phase. You don't have to pay to complete phase 1. And those are 4 weeks, 4 weeks long.
In fact, we don't want you to pay until you've passed the theory phase, because even if you pay, but you do not qualify, you do not pass all the tests, we don't want your money in that case. We will still not allow you to participate.
Yeah,
we'll have to
we
refund
don't,
you.
exactly.
So, because only those who show that they're ready and they are, as I said, smart, diligent, responsible. So don't pay until you know that you passed all 4 tests, and then only then you will get a formal acceptance letter, and we will say, now you can pay for your participation.
Right. Right. So those of you guys who are saying that you've already gotten your acceptance letter and have had, you've had your stipend approved, make sure that you did complete those letters of recommendation and that you did upload your credentials, okay? Your transcripts, or for professionals, I'm not sure what we're requiring for professionals, maybe something from their employees.
Yeah, and again, the reason for that is that it's merit-based. So we want to make sure that if we give somebody a stipend, we want to make sure that the student is sort of a good one. And so we want to know, we want to see your grades, we want to see some recommendations from your teachers, because again, we have a very limited budget and a very limited number of stipends. So we want to make sure that only the best of the best get those stipends.
Right.
Also, to complement Dr. B and Dr. Vaz, To submit your documents, you received a link in your acceptance letter. It's by the end, right after the invoice. So make sure that you upload your documents there, okay?
Yes. And for those of you guys, I have people saying, oh, I haven't received my acceptance letter. Look in your spam folder, look for it, because Raphael is pretty diligent about setting all of that stuff up and sending it. But if you have not, please email us at academy@xculture.org. That's Raphael, you're picking those up, correct?
Yes.
Yes. So Raphael will get that immediately and say, oh, I've sent it to you. Let me send it again. And you'll be in our list. Now, mind you, we have hundreds of students, possibly thousands of students this semester to manage for Academy. So just be patient. You know, I have a student here who said, I sent it yesterday. Well, give us a couple of days, okay? I answered 3 of these. I have a friend who wants to join. Is it too late? And the answer is no, it's not too late. You can still bring your colleagues or your friends on up until I'm saying 2 weeks, because I think you only need a complete 2 weeks to really fully finish phase 1. Don't you think, Dr. Voss?
Ideally, we want everyone to apply before the program starts, but if we have a
Right.
very talented student who is able to go through the theory training instead of 4 weeks in, let's say, 3 weeks,
Yes.
I think we will still consider that. There will be definitely no possibility to add anyone once the theory training is over. At that time,
Yes.
obviously, it's too late. But here we can be a little bit more flexible. Yeah.
Right. Okay. So for those of you guys who asked those, yes, make sure that you invite them. Again, there's this other question, and I answered this one 3 times, is if I don't have to pay the 56, let's say you have the stipend, the $200 stipend, right? Again, very limited number that we're giving out. But, you know, one student says, well, I don't know if I'm going to be able to pay the $56. I would recommend that you finish theory 1, which is 4 weeks long, or phase 1, which is 4 weeks long. And in that time, try to find another scholarship, or, you know, earn it, or however way, because again, the limit that we can provide in scholarships is $200, and that $56 can be subsidized by schools, organizations. I mean, there's many, many ways that you can get your education funded. We give you an acceptance letter, and it tells you exactly what you've been able to earn. So use those acceptance letter to go and solicit for sponsors for your global education, which I think is really a valuable thing. Okay. So I think that's many of the questions that were posed here. Now let's talk about the activities.
Just for one second, let me share. Somebody said, what happens on Monday? Very good question. So on Monday, actually probably on Sunday, tomorrow, you will get a letter. If you are accepted, you will get a letter that basically says the theory training starts. And that letter will contain a link to this website, including the password. It's password protected. So you will have access to this resource page. And here's what you will see here. 1, you will have links to all the webinars, weekly meetings, you know, whatever we have as, you know. But the most important thing is you have links to the weekly training resources. So for example, week 1, the job will be to learn what is XCulture and how it works. It basically teaches you, you know, all the details, you know, how the teams are formed, where you find the deadlines, how do you submit your work and stuff like that. And so some of these are short videos. You just click here and you watch it, for example, on YouTube, or if you want to download and watch it on your computer, you can do that as well later on. So you click and it downloads the video. Then some of them would be more like PDF files. So like, for example, this is the training module, and you will be able to see, essentially it's a training tool. So you can print it or you can read it on the screen. But so here you will have all the information that you need to learn for this week. In that email that you will receive on Monday, there will be a link, your personal link to your week 1 test. Every link is unique, and that link has your name sort of, you know, coded in it. So don't use your, like if there are 2 people from the same city and you know each other, make sure that you use your link and not your friend's link, because otherwise the system will think that your friend completed your test. But anyway, so here are the resources for week 1, and then we even provide some additional training for like teachers, for example, or parents if they would like to learn more. Then week 2, same thing. On Monday, you will receive an email. It will contain your performance review from the last week, and then you will also have the link to your test for week 2. It will probably be more like Tuesday that you receive that email, because we need to review your previous week's work, evaluate it, send you feedback. So, but in any case, again, same thing. So there will be next week, we will talk about global virtual teams, work in teams, challenges of working in international teams. And so again, you have a PDF file with lots of information, and you will have a video where some of these topics are discussed in a kind of video format. And so you'll have all of that. Then week 3, we will talk about online collaboration tools. So why email is not enough and what other tools you can use. And you will receive training on things like Dropbox, Google Docs, Doodle, Zoom, all those kinds of things. And finally, in week 4, again, you will receive your review from the previous week, and then there will be a link to your last 4th test. And so this week you will have to learn some basics of international business. And so normally participants in XCulture are university students who are in international business courses. So they get a whole semester of training on international business. Here we kind of condensed it to some of the basics, and you have like a little video lecture here, and you have some printed stuff. And again, the same thing, you read it, you watch the video lecture, and then you take your test. And again, for those of you who are really interested in how to do international business correctly, there are some additional resources that will not be tested on the exam, but you can get it. And so at the end of each week, you will receive your performance review. Usually we want to see the tests results that are 80% or more correct. Occasionally somebody gets, let's say, 75 or maybe 60. We may be able to give you a chance to retake the test, and you have, you better get a better grade on the second try. But we also sort of adjust our evaluation based on your, for example, language. Like if you come from a country where English is not the native language, and let's say you get 78 instead of 80, we may be able to accept that as a passing grade. But try to do as well as possible and try to, shoot over 80% correct answers to be sure. And then, as I said, once you pass all 4 tests, we move to this practical training phase, and at that time you will get a link to the university resource page, and that's where everything will be slightly different, and you will be with older university students. Several people asked about what kind of challenges you will be working on. Here I posted a few from the last semester, so just to give you examples of the companies. For example, Dart Drones, it's an American company. It's a network of schools that provide training for drone pilots, like they're used in construction and, all kinds of industries. And so that's what they do. Abovo, it's a company from Ghana that makes chocolate. Zen CV, it's a company from Serbia that provides professional CV resume services, as well as helps with job search. Hiplantro, it's a company from Colombia that makes tea. And so all of these companies usually ask for your ideas for how they can grow the business, how they can expand into new markets, marketing strategy, marketing ideas, and so on. A company from Lithuania that makes mineral water. An Australian company called Truffle and Wine, and they make truffles and wine. Nomuo, it's a company from United Arab Emirates, from Dubai, and they specialize in education for teenagers and kids, like after-school, online school, so to speak. Soprano is a Brazilian company that makes locks and hardware. And so each of them represents, as you see, a different industry and a different country. And most of them will be asking for your creative ideas with promotion, marketing, product design, things like that. So again, more of that will be provided obviously week after week. And as you remember, the first week is literally how XCulture works. So if you still have questions about webinars, about deadlines, about deliverables, about teams, all of that will be sort of covered in that first week's training so that you know what's going on. So the first week is when you go through all those details.
Right. And if you are still kind of iffy about what you're supposed to do, how you're supposed to do it, we'll send you a coach. These guys here are all coaches. So send us an email at academy@xculture.org, or actually it will give you a link to request for a coach in your theory 1 phase. And then we will help you along. So you're not going to be by yourself at any given time. Okay. You will always have somebody to be able to answer your questions. Just remember how to reach us, and then you can also request it through your module 1, okay? So let's talk about the active learning activities that we have planned for you. The first one is actually, Raphael, tell them about the link that you provided them at the bottom of your acceptance letter with regards to the pen pal, the virtual tour, and the cooking show.
Okay. You guys maybe received a reminder about this webinar, and there are a link to submit your request to be a host for virtual tours or virtual cooking class, and also to be in the pen pal program. In these events, people who want to participate and wants to share their cultures, their countries, and also their which food do you eat. You may submit your application there, so we will evaluate, and one coach will reach you out to check if you are available or not to present it.
Right. But let's specifically Raphael, because Raphael and who is the other one? Is it Raphael and Nicole or Raphael and Tejas, who manages the pen pal program? How does that work? Who is your assistant to the pen pal program?
It's going to be Tejas.
Tejas. Okay, so how are you guys managing the pen pal program?
For now, I will wait for the applications, and then I will match students and academy professionals as their age, the same age, so they can start to talk with each other regarding every topic they want to.
Okay, so that's coming. So please apply if you're interested in a pen pal, okay? And that's gonna be populated as soon as you request it. Raphael and Tejas will put you together with another student or another participant in your age group, in your same gender, in different countries. So Annette, can you tell us?
If I can, so don't miss the virtual picnic and the cooking shows. I went to all of them last semester, and I really, really liked it, especially like, for example, virtual picnic. It's like a picnic, you know, everybody comes with their own food, it's just online. And so we were able, it was kind of funny, we wanted to do it more like you know, like breakfast style, but then obviously for somebody it was lunch, for somebody it was dinner. So we got to see what kind of foods people are eating and, you know, talk a little bit about each other's, you know, culture and introductions. And then when we do the cooking show, that was even more in depth. So one of the XCulture students literally has a camera showing kind of the stove, and they were cooking, like we had some national food from Nepal, and we had another one from India. So it was so yummy. I mean, I really, really wanted to taste the food. Unfortunately, virtually, you can only see it. But it's educational. And so we distribute the list of ingredients in advance so that you can buy them and you can cook the same thing as the show host does it in his or her kitchen. So those are very fun. I mean, they're not mandatory. You don't have to go if you don't want to, but I highly recommend that you do. And, you know, it's a nice opportunity to meet other XCulture students. Very informal, very interesting, very fun.
Yes. So that virtual picnic is going to be January 30th. Raphael will send you another link and another reminder, probably the week of the 30th of January. And I'm going to ask Annette to talk about the selection process for the virtual tour or the cooking show. I can't remember which one you manage, Annette.
I do manage the virtual tour. So what you need to do, guys, you just have to send us 1 minute long video of a place that you like. It could be your room, it could be your city, or it could be whatever that excites you. Then you also have to create slideshow of something that you like, you would like to talk out to just tell us about. And then after that, we will pick the good videos and slides, and then we will communicate with you, or we'll contact you to now schedule a virtual tour of a place you would like to show us. It could be your school, it could be your the good features in your country, it could be anything. So you don't have to worry about maybe the pandemic. Oh, sorry. You don't have to worry about the pandemic because you can't show us a live presentation of where you are, but you can make a collection of beautiful what are they called? You can make a collection of beautiful okay, beautiful things in your country that you can show us. Like I will just let you, or just give you an example. Last semester, there's a student who showed us mountains in their country, Nepal, and we were able to see Mount Everest from the comfort of our homes, from behind our desktops and computers. So you can also show us very good places in your locations, and we can visit your places from where we are. It's a virtual tour, and we would like to see where you come from. We like to see things that excite you, and we want to be a part of your world. So when you join XCulture, you become a part of the XCulture world, and we want you to enjoy it while at it.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
thank
last
you.
semester, Louise took us to her favorite town in the Netherlands. And that was really lovely because she took us through a virtual walk that she took and took a bunch of pictures and explained to us like how old these buildings were, what they did there originally, and now today it's like the Gap, you know. And then we also did a virtual tour of the student from Nepal and his view of the Himalayas, or the Himalayans, for those of you guys who aren't in America. And also he took us to the birthplace of Siddhartha, who, you know, is the Buddha. And I wasn't aware that he was actually born in the village in Nepal up until I saw that virtual tour. So it was really interesting. Okay, so now Leon, I'm assuming, Leon, that you're still leading the cooking show?
Let me just say something small, okay? So it can even be a landmark in your country. It could be a monument. So anything you want to show us, it's really amazing to see all these beautiful things from wherever you are. We even had a visit to Kenya. We saw animals, we saw rivers, we saw very beautiful things.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't even know that in Kenya, in the capital of Nairobi, there is actually a safari.
Yes, there is a national park in the right in the capital.
You can actually get in a Jeep and go through the safari with the lions and the giraffes. And so now we're really thinking about going to Kenya for one of our global programs.
Okay, so I will hand over the mic to Leon to tell us about the cooking class. Yummy foods, guys.
Okay, so for the cooking classes, the application is the same as the virtual tours. So you just need to send in a 1-minute video of you. It can be of you making tea, or I don't know, one of your favorite snacks, just so we can choose the best participants. And then from there, it's just really great to learn different foods, because I mean, who doesn't love food? So it's really great to find different recipes from all around the world and actually learn that specific person's culture through the dish. I also actually do it with Ania. So Ania, if you have anything you want to add about it.
I just highly suggest do not eat before it, because you're gonna eat after while you follow their cooking.
Yeah, definitely.
But Dr. Voss said, I told you this, right? So you get an ingredient list a few days, or we'll try to do it a week before, right? So, so for example, the student who did a show, I think she was in Tibet or somewhere in India.
Nepal.
Was it Tibet? Nepal?
Nepal, yeah.
Nepal, okay. And it was interesting because she was a direct descendant of the royal family from that region. So she actually went back to the land that her family owned and was able to show us like all the old original stuff from her family. So, you know, she sent us an ingredient list, and as she was cooking it, you can actually follow along and cook along with her.
Yeah, yeah.
Right?
And
So
many recipes are very simple. I mean, it's not like you have to buy 50 different ingredients. Some were kind of difficult, you know, not difficult, but, you know, a lot of ingredients. But some of those cooking shows were relatively simple things. I just didn't know that you can make that salad so quickly. So yeah, so buy them and participate and cook your own version and then show us if yours looks better than the host shows. I mean, show host.
Yeah, I think the most impressive thing about the virtual tour, the virtual cooking shows are our level of understanding, not just like how to cook the food, but for example, I was so impressed by the way that they prepare the spices in India. It's actually a plate full of spices. Whereas in the United States, you do a dash of this and a dash of that, and you're done, right?
Warm it up, heat it up.
It was more spices than it was like the other stuff. And now I understand why food tastes so good in India. So
yeah, that we talked about culture and politics and all kinds of other things, and we got to meet the presenters themselves. So yeah.
Yeah, and some of them brought their moms because, you know, mom has to help them in the kitchen.
Yeah.
So we were able to meet mom. So that was really cool. And then Ania and Leon, I believe, would like to start a new initiative this semester. So we'll see if we can pepper that in. So Ania, do you want to talk about the art program that you want to try to start up this semester?
Okay, so I guess for the art program, I don't have my paper with me right now, so I can't say everything I wrote there. But for the art program, we're hoping to see all of your artistic sides, and we will be sharing like the best that we find in our weekly webinars, and most of them will be posted on Facebook. So like we will have a topic such as a quote, and then it will be posted on Facebook, and you can reply in the comment section with a photo of your artwork. And I think we will also do it on Discord.
Yes, okay. So I'm still answering questions and seeing if there are any more questions that we need to address now. Yeah. But basically, those are the social events. We are also going to be hosting a couple of guest speakers. I believe one of them, Annette, has already secured. Annette, do you want to talk about what your guest speaker will talk about?
Oh, so guys, my guest speaker is a financial guru. Let me call it like that. We were lucky to have him last semester teaching us how to manage our finances, savings, how to be able to live with the little you have, how to be able to save for the future, how to be able to look at an education plan and be able to afford it, like how to ideally manage your finances plan and everything. So as we are moving along, we also realize that he is a guru in management. So he will be able to tell us about corporate, is it corporate? Finance. Corporate management, yes. Yeah. It is corporate management. So if you guys are all great people, you're going to become managers and everything, you need to learn these skills. So we learn a lot from these guest speakers, and I would really, really invite you to come and attend these events. They are very educative.
Yeah. So Ania put here that we're also going to have vlogs, which are video logs, and those will be managed by Ania, and then of course Jaren will be uploading them into the Facebook pages. Okay. So, and in that case, what we want to know is what it's like to be in the day of the life of you in your country, in the things that you do, so that it teaches us what kind of expectations we should have when we're working with people from those different cultures. Excuse me. Okay, so unless there are any more questions with social activities, I think that's pretty much it. Just make sure that you do apply for your pen pal program or your cooking show or your video tours if you'd like to participate. Again, that can be found at the very end of the link reminder that you were given for this webinar. The second reminder again, because I know we've already put it out there, we've already spoken about it, but that the next event is the virtual picnic that Dr. Voss talked about, and that is 2 Saturdays from now on January 30th. Okay, so, and you will get a reminder from Raphael about the virtual picnic. So what else am I missing?
Yeah, the most important, as I said, next step is that on Monday, you will receive an email with a link to the resource page. And so all you have to do this first week is click on that link, see what the training materials are available or assigned for that week. And so there will be 2 or 3 short videos, and there will be 1 PDF file about 20 pages with some more information about XCulture. And your job will be then to click on the second link in that email and take the test on the information in those videos and PDFs. Somebody asked if it's timed. No, you can take as much time as you want. In fact, you can open the test and read the questions and then look for the answer, read the question. So it doesn't matter to us how you get to the answer as long as you do. And so that will be the most important next step. We noticed that usually students who pass the first test, they pass all the other tests. And students who do not do well on the first test, usually they have difficulties with the subsequent test as well. So take this one very seriously, and as long as you try, I'm sure you will pass.
Yeah. Okay, so I have a couple of students here, Ania, or I'm sorry, Leon, where do they send their cooking videos?
So if I'm not mistaken, Raphael, you sent out with the application?
No, they need to submit the application, and then we will verify, analyze all the students. So Annette and Leon will contact you to receive the video. So do not worry about the bid right now.
Okay. And the virtual picnic is not compulsory, although we highly recommend that you come because it's really fun.
Yeah.
And
but all of the live meetings are optional because we understand, like, for example, now we know it's past midnight, for example, in Australia or New Zealand. So obviously all of the events are optional. Hopefully you will attend, but if not, a recording will be available and you can watch it later. Likewise, all of the training videos, all of them are pre-recorded and you can watch it whenever you have a minute.
And where, so they want to know where they can find the recordings, Dr. Voss.
As I said, you will get an email tomorrow or on Monday, and it will contain the link to this resource page. And so you will have the password there. So it's password protected. It's only for the students who are accepted. But yeah, you will find everything here, and you just click and it takes you to the video, or you click and it opens the PDF file. Last semester, the videos and the training materials were open week by week, so you could only see week 1 in week 1, and then week 2 if you advance to week 2. This time we decided to open everything at once, so you can see all of them at once. Although to take the test, you will have to wait until Monday or Tuesday of each week when you get the link. So you cannot take all of the tests, you know, on Monday and be done. So we'll have to go week by week. And to be honest, or I'll tell you why we do that, because one of the very, very important things that we test during the theory training is not only your ability to answer questions correctly, but also your discipline and your diligence and your sort of commitment and motivation. And so we want to know that you are able to go online week after week after week and do everything on time. And the reason for that is, as I said, you will be working in a team. And so you can be the smartest guy in the person, you know, in the world, but if you don't show up for the team meetings, or if you don't communicate with your team, or if you don't do what the team assigned you to do, you're a bad team member. And so one of the very important sort of things that we are testing for in these tests is your ability to sustain a level of sort of work and commitment, you know, for several weeks. And so your ability to sort of not forget and do it every week is part of the test, so to speak. So.
Correct, correct. So, and with regards to, if you mean the recordings to this actual webinar, Dr. Voss, how do they get a link to this webinar if they want to rewatch it?
Again, so you will have the access to the resource page, and all of the webinars are listed here. So you will have the recordings here. So this table will be updated as we move along, but you will have links to the future webinars here. Like if you want to sign up for the weekly webinars, that will start next week, you just click here, sign your name, and you'll get access link. But then once the meeting is over, the link, the recording link will be here, and you can watch it whenever you have a minute. So if you miss it, not a problem. And then there will be a bunch of webinars with the CEOs and the founders of the companies that participate in XCulture. Again, so the future ones will be listed here once they're scheduled. The recordings will be listed here. So we have some of the recordings from the last semester that are useful for this semester. So it will be like this. So you have the company, You click on the link, it takes you to the recording, and you can watch it there. And so it goes
Right.
one by one by one. Everything will be available on the resource page.
Right. So, and Arshan wants to know, is it all just recorded videos? And the answer is no, because Dr. Voss will actually have live webinars that you're going to be invited to participate in. However, we understand that it might be the middle of the night for you, so that most of those or all of those are actually recorded, and he just showed you where they're posted. So if you miss the live presentation, you can actually go back to our resource page and actually watch the recorded presentation.
And it's not even middle of the night. I mean, I suppose that's something that we can deal with, but also you have to go to school. Some of you may have jobs. Some of you may have other engagements. And so obviously we have to account for that. So we invite you to, there will be many live events, in fact, probably more than you can attend. We invite you to all of them, but if you miss something and you want to watch it later, no problem at all. You will have the recording.
Yes. Okay. And then, Dr. Voss, when do they need to turn in their first test once you give them the resource on Monday? I know you already answered this.
That's a good question, but all deadlines, all tests, all deliverables, all deadlines, it's always Sunday, midnight, Eastern Standard Time. Eastern Standard Time, New York time zone. So we are kind of far west. So for most of you, or for many of you, it will be basically, Monday morning. But so all deadlines are midnight of Sunday. And so each test, progress survey, deliverable, so it goes on this weekly cycle. So every time by the end of the week, you have to submit and show what you've done or submit the test. So all deadlines are every week, Sunday, midnight, Eastern Standard Time.
Right. So I think that's all we have time for. Again, welcome to the XCulture family. Guys, do you guys have anything to add from my team? No, everybody's good? Okay.
It will be hard at times. It will be sometimes difficult because, you have to coordinate with people from different time zones. There will be always someone on your team who is maybe a little too bossy or maybe a little too shy and is not, comfortable speaking up. But that's the whole point of the program. So, we want you to experience all those differences and cultural, peculiarities. So even when it will be a little bit difficult at sometimes, believe me, when you're fully done with the program, you will look back and you will say, as thousands of people said before you, actually, that was good. I learned something. Right. I met people, so it was worth it.
Yes, yes. And I mean, you guys probably remember what Leon said and what Teja said. It's the same for the professors. Like, it's such a pleasure to be surrounded by like-minded people. And when I see my colleagues, now I don't see them very often because of COVID, but when I see them during the conferences and we bring our students along, it's such a pleasure to be surrounded by your tribe. Like, we feel like a family because we have an understanding. So welcome to the XCulture family. If you have any questions at all, reach out to your coaches or send an email to academy@xculture.org and we'll send you somebody to help you. And otherwise, wait for that resource page to open up on Monday. That will come to you via email. So make sure that you open it right away. And as Dr. Voss said, your first assignment is due on Sunday night by midnight.
You'll have a whole week. So let's say goodbye in all the different languages, maybe then,
Yes.
So, I mean, obviously in English it's goodbye. I have
so you start.
Spain, so that's do pobacenia.
Okay. And in Tagalog, I don't know how to say the other part, so I'll say this one, salamat po, which means thank you very much.
Do we have?
In Swahili, I'll tell you kwaheri, meaning goodbye.
Goodbye.
Ania, you're next.
Okay. Tai Tian, meaning goodbye in Chinese.
Okay. What is it in Portuguese, Rafael?
Tchau e muito obrigado. It's goodbye and thank you.
Yeah, ciao.
Yeah. Ciao. Tejas?
Dhanyavad or alvida. That's thank you and goodbye.
Yeah, very good.
And Leon?
Is there like a local goodbye?
basically just goodbye.
Goodbye. Okay.
But Leon, no, isn't there like another language, like a local, a native language in South Africa?
Yes, there's quite a few actually.
Probably like a dozen of them.
Afrikaans, that is one.
I know Jumbo is hello, but is Jumbo also goodbye?
I have no.
Jumbo is actually Swahili, Dr. B.
Oh, well, there you go. See?
How do you say goodbye in Afrikaans? Is it like
tot ziens.
auf Wiedersehen?
No, tot ziens.
Ah, okay, yeah.
Oh, okay.
People
So
kinda
there you go. That's the language of South Africa, no? Afrikaans?
Yeah, it's definitely one of the main ones, but I think we have about 12 official languages in South Africa, so quite a few.
Okay. And how many do you speak, Leon?
We'll just stick with English for now. I can speak Afrikaans, but not that. Not very.
Jaren?
So selamat tinggal and terima kasih, which is goodbye and thank you in Malay.
Very good. Emily? Emily's American. Actually, Emily and Nicole both speak English, so come up with something creative.
But Nicole can say it in French too, right?
Oh yeah, Nicole.
I'm in a French immersion school, but my French is not the best. Like my accent isn't great. Au
Well,
revoir.
how do you say it?
Au revoir.
Au revoir. Emily, come up with something good. Something like see you later.
Florida doesn't even have its own dialect. Like if she were in Texas, for example, she would say something like, you know, like bye y'all or something.
I was gonna say bye y'all.
Bye y'all.
Florida, it's the South still.
Yeah.
She can even copy Dr. B's signature, the peace and love.
Yeah, peace and love. Actually, Nicole lives just north of where we are, and it's like it's very southern. Central Florida is very southern, and we always say that once you get past Palm Beach County, you are now crossing the international border, because South Florida is more Spanish than it is, you know, American, which is very interesting.
We actually have a few people who put in their language goodbye in the comments. So we have here adios amigo. So, and we have Allah Hafiz. So we have, I don't know if more students are going to add. So
yeah. So here's mine. Peace and love. Welcome to the family. Adios. Farewell. Auf Wiedersehen.
Bye. Thank you.
Unajiva, Dena Ederu. Okay, yeah.
Okay.
That sounds like Romanian, so yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so Raphael, please stop recording. And we are going to end our program.
Wait a second. Lara Videri, that's hello, is it? No, Bună ziua is hello, Lara Videri. Okay, okay. Yeah, I know a few words. Okay, we have more languages coming in. And I don't know how to pronounce.
Okay, Raphael, stop the recording.
Yeah,
all right. Au revoir, everybody. Thank you.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Oh, wait. We need our picture. Sorry.
Oh, yeah.
Pages, we have to say words. Here we go.
Yeah, let me take the picture. Let me take the picture. So, so those who don't know in XCulture, I don't know who came up with this idea. It was like 2011, and I saw this picture like with an X, and I was like, "What's that?" And then we realized it's the XCulture. So let's do the XCulture picture. So everybody do the X, and let me see if I can. All right, boom, yeah, and we got the X. All right.
Okay, remember that new thing that we came up with, that this is also good because this means friendship. Remember?
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. So yeah, that's friendship. Okay, yeah, that's in the.
No, when you do this and when you tie it, means friendship.
Oh, okay,
so,
that's very appropriate. So let's do the friendship one as well. So, yeah. Yeah. All right. Got that one too. So.
Okay. Thank you, you guys. Peace and love.
This culture symposium, usually by day 2 or day 3, everybody then goes crazy and goes like, yeah, it's culture, yeah. So, but yeah.
Raphael, cut the recording. Bye.
Bye. Bye. Everyone, bye.